Hi everyone, welcome back to Hayes Kitchen. I've just had a disaster. I've just been outside trying to film for you to do a kebab with a mint sauce, a vegetarian, a vegan option, and a meat option, and a pescatarian option. However, it's just hammered it down with rain, so that's not going to happen this week. Quick alternative, we're going to be making a protein ball, which is what I give my kids. We also snack on them. It's instead of going out and buying a Snickers bar, basically, it's a really, really high protein, chocolate tasting. It tastes a bit like a Ferrero Rocher is the best way to describe it. Anyway, these things are awesome. Keep them in the fridge and just snack on them all week long. First of all, if you just go get 2 bars of dark chocolate, about 70 or 80% proof, start melting it down for me in a little glass bowl, and then we come back and we'll get cooking. Right, so what are we going to be using? We're going to be using dark chocolate, which I've just melted down. And we're also going to be using, for the base of the chocolate itself, we're going to be using pistachio nuts. So if you want to use unsalted preferably, just a lot more tasty, I'm going to plop them just inside a food blender. I'm going to blend that up and it's going to make you flour. Next up, you're going to be using walnuts. Okay, you're going to blend those as well. We've got some flaxseed powder. Alternative, you don't need to use that if you don't want to. You can use some coconut flour if need be. Some mixed seeds, any of your choices that you want, you can use any ones. We've got some raisins, some chia seeds, which are just high protein again. You can get these online or most of your health food stores. Pumpkin or sesame seeds, whichever you want. We've got some cashew nuts. We've got some goji berries, which are really high protein and really healthy as well. Some sesame seeds. Again, you don't need to use those if you don't want to. Some whey protein powder. Now, a lot of you aren't going to know what that is. Whey protein powder is what you use when you're trying to build muscle mass, basically. So if you're using a healthy gym sort of lifestyle, most people would use whey protein. You don't need to use this because I'm using dark chocolate. I just want it extra chocolatey and I want the extra protein in there. Next thing I'm going to use is whole earth, so crunchy nut peanut butter. Make sure you use organic and unsalted, please. First up, let's make the powder. Right, so you've blended your pistachio. You don't need to blend it massively amount, so there's walnuts in there as well. You see, that's just lightly ground. You see the texture of that? And you're just going to add that to your melted chocolate. Take out a cutter. Mix that through. You see it's starting to go a little bit firmer now. Now into there, about 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. Again, keep turning that in until it starts getting a little bit drier and drier, because you're going to mould these into little shapes at the end. Into there you want your raisins, good handful, sunflower seeds, a good pinch of your chia seeds. Now to make this slightly wetter again, because it's going to start going a little bit hard, we're going to add honey. Now I prefer it if you just got organic, if you can, or whatever you can get from your local store. Keep mixing that through. It's almost like you're making this wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry constantly. Right, whey protein powder. It's up to you if you want to use this. If not, you can use coconut flour if need be. Gonna add that through. Sesame seeds. Goji berries. If you can't get them, don't worry, they're not essential. They're a strange flavour really. I've only been eating them the last 6 months, but I quite like them. So you've got some coconuts, just some ground coconut flour, or ground coconut dried pieces. Fold that all in. You can see it's now getting a nice dry texture. And this is the point that you're going to start using your hands, and it's going to be a bit of a mucky job, I'm afraid. It's a great one if you've got kids and you want to start them to get involved with baking. This is perfect. Right, there's your dry mix. I'm going to have to get involved with my hands on this, I think. So away with the spoon. Really start melting that down. It's starting to harden up. We're just going to add the last bit that we're going to use is the peanut butter. So a large, big scoop of peanut butter in there. And back in with your hands, I'm afraid. This is a messy job. Right, so that's your mix. All you're going to do with that is roll it up into little balls. This is such a simple recipe. Roll one of those. And you're going to add that into the coconut. Mix it through. Put it on a piece of baking powder. baking paper even. Now that's a couple of big ones. That's going to be for me just to last me through the day. I would probably say these are going to be quite strong in flavour, so you only really need them about this big. Like that. Right, they're all done, guys. Pop them in the fridge for about an hour, hour and a half until the chocolate goes nice and hard, and munch them throughout the week. They can stay in the fridge for a pretty much week, week and a half. Now, if you've got any dark chocolate left over and you like fruit, give yourself a banana, chop it up into thin slices, dip it into the dark chocolate, an almond on top, a little bit of coconut, and stick it in the freezer, not the fridge. These frozen will never go completely solid. They'll always keep a slight softness there. The same with grapes, the same with tangerine sections, which it's the same as Terry's chocolate orange, exactly the same. Chocolate orange with coconut on top, in the freezer, summer's day. They're the most refreshing things you've had. So that's it, guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.